Mike Moore Media, the first place to hear Rockingham County news and information.
On our media line, Lessa Hopper, Mayodan Town Manager. Hey, Lessa, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too.
Well, we're off to a good start. We just had your regular council meeting just recently, days ago.
Right.
You want to go over that? Maybe give us a quick update on some things from that?
Okay, sure. We did have an audit presentation from Rouse, and Garner from Eaton, and they did our audit this last year. They've been doing our audit for a while, but we got a clean audit opinion and a good outlook of our finances, and I thought we got a great report. They felt like it was a great report, and so I think that the council was pleased with that.
Yeah, and she certainly praised the town staff and the financial folks involved there for just doing a great job for the year.
She did, and we appreciate that very much. And we have a great finance director, and we try to run a tight ship, and so I think we did a good job. And they seem pleased, and so I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, okay. All right, one other thing that I thought we might want to mention, Voluntary Annexation Petition and Development Plans, Charles Rakestraw. Is that something you could fill us in about?
Sure. Mr. Rakestraw has some property on River Road. He understands that there's going to be a new water line installed out in front of the property that he owns. And so, of course, he would like to tap onto that water line for some possible development in the future, housing type thing probably. And the town of Mayodan has a policy that if you ask to tap onto our water or sewer systems, you must ask for a voluntary annexation. It does not mean that the council would approve that. They have the option to approve an annexation or not, but the developer or the person that would like to tap on must ask for a satellite annexation anyway. Mm-hmm. And so he's just doing his due diligence in that by applying for the voluntary annexation. The council will at some point address that, and at the meeting, this last meeting, they directed the clerk to certify the petition, which means that we just have to make sure that the person who petitioned is the person who owns the property and that it meets other legal guidelines for an annexation. And so they, the council went ahead and approved that certification just to have one step out of the way. And there are still some issues that have to be worked out. There's still some information that has to be gathered as to whether it meets the guidelines for satellite annexation. One important thing is it's 2 miles or so outside of town, and so the distance that it is outside of our city limits proper may be one of the issues that would prevent it from being annexed. Mm-hmm. But he did ask for the petition so that he can apply to have his water and sewer connected to a development should he decide to move forward with that. And so it's really just a formality, and then the council will at some point make a decision as to whether satellite annex or not, based on whatever comes from this information that has to be garnered.
Yeah. And you said this is one step, and there really are, as we've learned recently, another project out on 135. There are a number of steps to go through, aren't there?
It is.
Yeah.
And that project is moving forward. They were annexed. He did do his petition to annex because he'd like to tap onto the water and sewer system. That was an approved annexation, and it was effective December 31st of 2020. So that would put him in a satellite annexation position where he is considered in the town of Mayodan, and he would pay city taxes and county taxes, and he would pay in-town water rates.
Yeah, okay.
And now his next step is he has to apply for a rezoning for the project he'd like to do, which is multifamily housing. And so actually I believe that will come up probably at the February meeting for him to ask for a rezoning and a conditional use permit. Mm-hmm. So, yes, there is several steps to that. And so if Mr. Rakestraw continues forward with his project, and, if he is approved or denied either way, for his annexation, then he would move forward with the next process, and that is, if it is annexed, then it's possible that would have to be rezoned. If it is not annexed, he works with the county through their zoning to develop the property in the way that he'd like to.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Which we're saying all of this to say this: there is a big increase in interest in residential construction in Western Rockingham County.
There really is, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that I-73 and completing a portion of that connection between here and Greensboro and the airport has opened us up for other, hopefully, industrial or commercial interests in this area in Rockingham County, southern Rockingham County, and that definitely would bring more residents this way also. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump now, to get to the airport or to get to Greensboro. Mm-hmm. And Rockingham County's taxes are probably a little less than Guilford County, and so I think that there will be people that will want to move this way. And so water and sewer is very important for any development, whether it's industrial, commercial, or residential. And so, we have the rivers here, so, it looks good to people to be able to develop land for housing and for industrial, commercial projects, and they can tap onto water and sewer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that brings up another point. Mayodan is in good shape with water, isn't it?
It really is. It's in excellent shape. We have a 3 million gallon capacity, 3 million gallons a day capacity, and we do not produce that much, nowhere near that. So we have room for growth, and so we certainly want to take advantage of the growth. If it is a commercial aspect or an industrial aspect, then the policy to have them ask for satellite annexation is to the town's benefit, because the taxes for that, you recoup so much in tax base for that. Mm-hmm. Now, a residential section, depending upon how many houses it is, you may recoup the money for the annexation for the services you have to provide if it's not too far out, if it's not too far away. So, definitely here on 135, since we have satellite annexations out at the Walmart area, 135 is definitely a place that if there is commercial or industrial growth, we certainly would want to annex that. Mm-hmm. A single-family house, the services that you have to provide, a single-family house, just one house, it's not likely to be annexed simply because you're not going to recoup your money on the services you have to provide. To have to run out 135, to collect trash or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I think it was a good policy that was written many, many years ago. Someone had the forethought to write a policy. Mm-hmm. The council approved it, and it has served us well. And so I'm glad that they do have that policy, so that if someone does want our services, they have to at least ask for annexation. Mm-hmm. And that gives us the opportunity to take advantage of an industrial type business or large commercial.
Sure, yeah. Now, things have changed over the years, but who's the biggest water user now in Mayodan? I know, you can look at others in the past and think about them. They're no longer there. Do we have anybody that's really using a lot of water?
Put me on the spot.
Well, I didn't mean to. I was thinking about Ruger. But, I don't know if Ruger uses that much.
I mean, it would be the Frontiers, the McMichaels, the Ruger, the school system. Mm-hmm. The McMichael High School is a larger water user. Bridgestone, and those are the largest ones. I can't tell you which of those is the largest right offhand. I hope to get that answer and get it to you.
No, that's okay. But we get the idea that we do. Mayodan does have a lot of these companies that are big water users for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, is there anything else we need to mention? We're in the new year. What new things can we expect around town?
Well, one thing I do want to mention is the loose leaf collection does end January 31st. And so next week will be the last week that the truck makes a pass through town. Of course, the 30th and 31st is on a Saturday and Sunday, so they won't be run that day. So technically the 29th will be the last day that they're out. But if anybody has loose leaves, please get them raked out this week so that they can be picked up next week. They will not pick up any loose leaves after the 29th, and any loose leaves would have to then be bagged. Mm-hmm. So that is coming to an end. We're heading into our winter months, and that's always a time when they have the potential for frozen pipes or frozen lines. So we just caution residents to be wary of the temperatures and freezing, and if you have freezing overnight temperatures and things like that, you might want to leave your cabinet doors underneath your sinks open to get some heat in there to those pipes, and just to be wary of that, mm-hmm. and to be on the lookout for any pipes that might burst along the roadway or in the road. If they see a large amount of water coming out of the roadway or right in the right away, be sure and let us know, mm-hmm. so that we can go out and address that if it happens to be a leak in the pipe.
Sure. Okay.
A break. We don't want to see that, but it does happen this time of year.
Oh yeah. Hard to believe, we're looking at such a pretty day today.
Yeah. The wind's a little up, but it is very pretty. I hope we don't see a lot of bad weather this year, but you never know. And sometimes our worst winter comes in March, so mm-hmm. Let's just keep our fingers crossed and hope for the best. But we do have our crews out there, and they're ready to jump on it. If anybody sees anything that looks suspicious, please let us know.
Okay, sure.
And we're just hoping that 2021 we can get back to some of our I don't know. You can't call it normal anymore, because I don't think it'll ever be the same as it was. But let's get back to having some fun. Let's get back to doing some things that are, enjoyable for people. We want to try to get back to festivals and, especially anything outdoors. Let's try to get some things going and do some things. I was talking with some of the merchants last night, and we'd like to try to do something maybe in April, a stroll downtown, just to hopefully get people out when the weather turns a little bit, and get people back in, out and being social together. Mm-hmm. And so downtown may have something coming up the weekend after Easter weekend.
Oh, good.
And that would be great. Yeah. I'll let you know more about that, but I hope so. I hope we can do something with some music and, some things for kids, and just hopefully try to get people back out and doing some things. I know everybody is about to go stir crazy.
Yeah, and we still can get out. We've got the park right there,
right.
in Mayodan, and of course Ferris Memorial Park. So people are getting out more now in the nicer days, right. And always good to do that. Get out in some fresh air.
Yes, we the disc golf, like we talked about before, that's all finished, and so lots of people are taking advantage of that, and the mountain bike trails. And so, please, walking, hiking, getting out and, doing some biking maybe, or throw a Frisbee around at the disc golf, and hopefully people will get out. Another thing we kind of talked about is, hoping that there's some way we can look into possibilities of trying, like maybe movie nights or something. You can't really go to theaters very well right now. Mm-mm. So maybe once the spring comes, and we can look at some movie nights or something if movie theaters aren't open and available like they used to be. Mm-hmm. So we got to think of some things, try to find some things that we can do here in Mayodan to get people back to having some fun and enjoyable, and not be just cooped up in.
No, hopefully we can get out and enjoy it for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Lessa, always great talking to you. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate that you get our word out there and let people know what's going on.
Well, thank you for being there, and your good Mayodan team making it happen.
Thank you. Okay. We appreciate that.
Talk to you next month.
All right.
Okay,
bye-bye.
Bye. That's Lessa Hopper. She is Mayodan Town Manager. You can get more information about what's happening at the Town of Mayodan, or townofmayodan.com, townofmayodan.com. Our program is sponsored by Nadine Cobb Accounting and Tax. I was in her office the other day, as a matter of fact. Nadine Cobb Accounting and Tax on North 2nd Avenue in Mayodan. Here's her number. Yep, that's that time, 336-427-9060, 427-9060. For individuals, for businesses, she can help you at Nadine Cobb Accounting and Tax in downtown Mayodan, right across the street from the Riverside Collection.